Hello, and welcome to Atlanta's premier love, sex, and relationship website, lipservicelounge.com. I'm your host, LaDawn, and today I'd like to take a moment to thank each and every one of you for stopping during the course of your day to visit the site. I truly hope the information that is shared on the site is beneficial to you and your relationship. I'd also like to thank you for trusting me enough to invite me into your personal space, be it at home or the office, opening up the video blogs and listening to what I have to share. We here at Lip Service Lounge truly appreciate each and every one of you. Today's video blog topic is inspired by two very special people. The first is a young lady that I've known for about 25 years. She was my college roommate. She was diagnosed with breast cancer. She's a breast cancer survivor. A few months ago, she and I participated in a breast cancer awareness walk. To my surprise, I received a thank you note in the mail a few weeks later. The information that she shared in the thank you note inspired me to cover this topic today. The other person is a family member that I've known all of my life. She survived a horrific car crash many years ago. She suffered from third-degree burns over most of her body. We were told that night by the doctors that she might not survive to see the next morning, but she did. And the motorcycle club that she rides with, the Street Angels, appropriately gave her the name Phoenix because, like a phoenix, she rose from the ashes of that car crash to live the miraculous life that she lives today. So I'd like to personally thank Wyvetra Stokes and Felicia Phoenix Taylor for inspiring today's topic for today's video blog. Today's topic is reclaiming your intimacy after life-changing events in a relationship. Most people don't stop and think about all of the things that victims of chronic illnesses or tragic accidents have to deal with. We all think about the physical recovery that they must endure, but we oftentimes don't think about the emotional, mental, and spiritual course that they have to travel. It could be very tumultuous. A lot of times these individuals are dealing with low self-esteem, poor body image, they go through depression, they struggle with their faith, they begin to question God. Oh, I did everything right, I didn't smoke, I ate the right things, and I got cancer. I was driving along the highway just fine and someone hit me, and all of a sudden my life turned around. Why me, God? Why did this happen to me? So these individuals begin to question God and question their faith. So rest assured, if they're questioning God and something that they believed in all of their lives, that they really will start to question everything about their lives. And a lot of times they become introverts and start to hold a lot of things in. They start to withdraw from their significant others just as they withdraw from God. And again, a lot of us don't think about the struggles that they face in these areas. We only really typically think about the physical challenges that they face. So today, I thought I'd share a few things that would help or that could potentially help couples as they transition from life as they knew it prior to the chronic illness or prior to the tragic incident to life as they now have to live based on what's happened to them from the serious illness or as a result of the tragic accident. So I like to start with the significant others first. Significant others, I encourage you to allow the victim an opportunity to grieve because again, they're dealing with a lot of things. This is a new way of life that they're having to learn to manage through and deal with. So allow them to experience all of the emotions that come to them. Oftentimes they will experience sadness, anger, they'll be mad, they'll be disillusioned, they'll be disappointed, so many things. Allow them the opportunity to feel these emotions. Allow them the opportunity to grieve because they have to grieve. They have to get through that process before they can begin healing. So allow them to do that. And I know it's hard because we often want to come to their rescue. We want to fix it. That's what we do as significant others. But allow them their space. One thing I will caution you on, though, is don't begin to feel sorry for the victims. Sure, you are supposed to be empathetic. You are supposed to offer sympathy. When victims choose to have conversations with you and share, you certainly are supposed to validate their feelings, but don't make the mistake of feeling sorry for them, because that only prolongs the healing process. That allows them to stay in a very self-pitying or negative space. If they were able to do, or if they are able to do activities that they were able to do prior to the accident or the illness, allow them to do them. Don't take over those responsibilities for them. Allow them the freedom to do that, because as soon as they get back to normal routines, the sooner they can begin rebuilding a normal life for themselves. Also, allow them the space to be alone if they need to. Allow them an opportunity to go off into the world outside of your home if they need to, so they can experience the world in this new body, in this new space, and see how the world reacts to them. So allow them the opportunity to do some things on their own. And again, more especially, allow them the opportunity to participate and do things that they were able to do prior to the illness, so that they can have a sense of normalcy, so that they can rebuild their routine. I like to next speak to the victim. We oftentimes really relate to the victim. Those are the persons that we focus on because we want them to be better. We want them to get better. We don't typically think about those significant others. Those individuals are too impacted by this illness. They too are having to adjust to a new life. So, victims, I ask that you place yourself into your significant other's shoes. They too are now having to deal with a new body. They too are now having to deal with new ways of supporting you through this illness that they didn't have to think about or do before. So it's very hard and traumatic on them. A lot of times they're lost because they don't know how to support you. So be understanding of that as well. I ask you to place yourself in your significant other's shoes, because when we can better understand what another person is feeling or see things from their perspective, we're better able to relate. That allows us to have better communication, to open up, and to be able to move forward, to come to new agreements, to be able to work together to come up with new action plans. But we have to first understand what another person is feeling and see their view on things. So again, victims, I'm offering you the opportunity to place yourself in your significant other's shoes, and significant others, I'm requesting that you allow the victims to have space to grieve and don't feel sorry for them. The next thing I challenge you to do is to work together as a team. That's very important. To work together as a team to find out as much as you can about the illness, about things that are required as you transition through this illness. This will allow you to support one another better as you're transitioning. This is very important because a lot of things may change in your life. There may be new foods that you have to eat. There may be new medications that you have to take. There may be new equipment that you have to use, a wheelchair, a walker, what have you. There are a lot of things that you can learn as you research about the illness. Be very mindful of how these things are impacting the victim. Again, they're dealing with self-esteem issues if now you're having to use the aid of a walker or wheelchair to get around, when before, a few days ago, a few weeks ago, a year ago, you were able to walk on your own. Now they're having to depend on you to just help them with simple things, feeding themselves or going to the bathroom. They're dealing with a lot psychologically, so be mindful of that as you're researching and going through this transition period. Also, be mindful of the medications because they can alter a person as well. The medications may make them lethargic, they can make them even more depressed, they can decrease sex drives, they can do a lot of things um, to the victim. So be aware of those types of things as you're researching things that you need to do or things that you need to be aware of as a result of this new life that you both have to live. So that's the first thing that I encourage you to do together as a team. The next thing I like for you to be mindful of is how you communicate with one another. Victims, please don't use the new situation as a crutch. Please be mindful and try not to say things like, well, you would still be attracted to me if I had my breast. You would still love me if you didn't have to help me go to the bathroom. I feel like such a burden. I hate this situation because, again, significant others often feel lost because they can't come in and immediately fix a situation, so they're struggling with how to help you in the first place. So saying these types of things can really hurt them and distance them even further. So be careful with how you communicate to your significant other as you're making this transition. Significant others, be careful how you communicate to the victim. Don't say things that will be very hurtful to them. I remember life before we had to deal with this whole thing. It's just too tough. It's too hard to deal with. I'm tired. I don't feel like doing all these extra things that we now have to do. I didn't ask for this. All of those things, again, can destroy the progress of healing for the victim and can really shatter their confidence. Significant other and and victims, please be careful not to compare your healing or your progress to someone else. Victims, don't try to move too fast because that can provide you or put you in a space that you really don't want to be in and cause you to have a setback. Significant others, don't compare the progression to other individuals as well, because again, it will belittle the process that the strides that they've made thus far. So be very mindful, thoughtful, and loving with how you communicate with one another. Be very open and honest with your communication with one another as well. Victim as well as significant other. If there are things that you need in the relationship, if there are things that you desire, even in the midst of healing, communicate those things, because people don't know how to or don't know that they should address issues that you have if you never make them aware of the issues. So be very vocal, but again, I ask that you do it in a very loving and thoughtful manner. Significant others, offer words of encouragement, offer words of love, offer opportunity for hope. So as the victim is going through their healing process, say things like, once you feel better, we can go and do whatever the victim enjoyed doing before, whether it's a night out on the town or going to dinner, going to do whatever it is that the victim enjoyed doing. So offer them opportunities for hope so that as they continue to progress in their healing, they'll have something to look forward to. Continue to reassure one another that you're in it to win it, that you're in it together, that this thing has happened to you, has changed the direction of your relationship in some ways, but you're willing and you're committed to move through it together. Reassure each other of that as often as you possibly can. That's very, very important. So what I really, really want to get to in this video blog is intimacy. Intimacy is having that connection with your partner, being able to spend time with them and really enjoy one another's space. You have just intimacy that you experience through conversation and touch, and then you have physical intimacy that you experience through intercourse or love making. So let's talk about both of those. I think as soon as you both are able to move forward with intimacy, you should do so as you go through the healing process, again, because it uh, gives you an opportunity to create a sense of normalcy. First, I'd like to offer to the victim, if in fact you suffered with something like diabetes and now you are dealing with an amputation, or if you are suffering through some type of disfigurement, or if you had to undergo a mastectomy because of cancer, there is a difference in your body. There's a difference in the way that you look. There's a difference in the way that you feel. I'd like to offer you the opportunity to get comfortable with your new body. Allow yourself the opportunity to accept the new body. You can go through all of those emotions of being mad and being angry, but ultimately you want to get to a point where you accept your body as it is and be able to love and embrace your new body, so that you can be intimate comfortably and confidently with your partner. So spend some time alone getting familiar, learning to accept your new body. And then when you're ready, offer the same opportunity to your partner, because again, they're having to deal with life changing for them as well. So give them an opportunity to become familiar, to explore your new body as well, to the degree that it becomes a non-issue for the both of you when you're preparing to be intimate. So give both of yourselves an opportunity to come to grips and accept the new body or the new lifestyle, whatever it is. This is an opportunity too, for you to be creative and bring new things into your relationship, or learn to have intercourse in different ways. It doesn't mean that intimacy has to end. It just means that you may have to readjust the way that you experience intimacy. So I challenge you to work daily on intimacy. You do that by making sure that when you're together, that you're close and in each other's space, that you're holding hands, that you're holding each other, that you're kissing, that you're maintaining eye contact when you're having conversation. Touch is so very important in a relationship. Reassure your partner through touch that you are there for them, that you love them, that you still desire them, that you want to be with them. So touch as much as possible. When you're in the bed at night, make sure you're holding each other close. Sleep naked together. That automatically makes you feel close to someone. So do all those things as much as possible to maintain a high level of intimacy in your relationship. You can also maintain intimacy throughout the day with communication. Reassure your partner with your words that you think they're beautiful. Tell them that you love them often. Reassure them again that you're there for the long haul, that you're not going anywhere. Send text messages, call in to check on them, leave sticky notes where you know that they may be during the day so that they can find them. Just let them know through communication that you're there, that you want to be there, that you're willing and able to do whatever it is to show that you want to be intimate with them. Moving on to physical intimacy, that may take a little time as the victim and the significant other get used to the new challenges or the new body. So just be patient and take it slow, but continue to work on it. There are some illnesses where the victim may not be able to have sexual intercourse, or may not desire to have sexual intercourse, or their medications, again, may render them impotent. So you have to be mindful of those things. That does not mean you can't be intimate. That does not mean that you cannot experience physical pleasure. You can do that again through touch, with massaging one another. You can engage in more, or introduce, if you hadn't before, oral sex to your relationship. You can also introduce toys to the relationship. Women, if you feel uncomfortable having sexual intercourse with your significant other, you can use toys that simulate that same type of pleasure, and the same for men. So there are many options out there that will allow you to continue to create intimacy and develop intimacy in your relationship uh, after you recover from your illness, while you're recovering from your illness, while you're adjusting to the new body. Whatever the situation, you still can show your affection for your partner. So remember those things. There are also additional tools and resources that can help you. If you are comfortable with talking to your pastor about intimacy issues that have come about as a result of this new change in your life, speak with them. They can offer some insight as well. There are individuals like me that are relationship life coaches that could help you work through your intimacy issues and help you devise plans that will help you, or create alternate options that will help you transition through that period. Also, there are many couples workshops on intimacy. I offer retreats, as do many other relationship coaches and many other organizations out there that offer retreats for couples that speak to how to bring intimacy back into your relationship. So there are myriad of resources that you can tap into. So don't ever feel like you're alone or on an island because you're now having to deal with this new thing, this new curve that life threw at you. So again, there are many things that you can do. Create a safe environment for you always to have open communication, to share with your partner, victim, as well as significant other, the things that you desire, the things that you need. Be very mindful, thoughtful, and loving in your communication. Express to your partner as often as you possibly can how much you love them, how much you want to be with them, how much you still find them desirable. Help them through the transition. Be there for them to lean on, but don't become a crutch. Don't allow them to remain depressed or engage in pity parties. Allow them an opportunity to grieve, but also give them room to be able to do things to regain their independence as well as their confidence, to get you guys back to being where you're supposed to be or where you want to be. So that's all I have for you today. I hope that the information that I shared with you today has been very helpful. Don't be afraid of intimacy. Don't shut down intimacy because your life has changed, because you've gotten hit with a horseshoe. Turn the horseshoe into a golden opportunity. I challenge you to think about individuals, children in particular, that were born with certain handicaps or disfigured, and this is the life that they know. They don't know any other way, so they triumph. They continue to move through life. They live instead of exist. I challenge you to think about those individuals as you're going through your healing process, and have them serve as sources of inspiration and motivation for you. I also challenge you to think about individuals that were looking to become professional athletes and some tragic thing happened and they could no longer live their dream. They became paralyzed or any number of things. And instead of becoming the professional ball player that they wanted to become, now they are very strong participants in the or the Special Olympics. And they have thriving careers and they are enjoying what they wanted to do, but in a different way. Remember that challenges are only opportunities for us to see how creative we can be in a situation. To see how creative we can be in a situation and allow us to step to the next level and meet the challenges that are there. So again, don't be afraid. Embrace it, love it, move through it, and realize that you have a partner that is there for you, the victim as well as the significant other. You might have lost an organ, a body part, or you may even be disfigured, but you are still at heart, mind, body, and soul, the person that your significant other fell in love with That did not change. You are who you are. So remember that you still matter, that you still have something to offer, that you still can be very vibrant and loving in a relationship. Remember those things as you progress through your transition. That's all I have for you today. Please remember to visit the site at www.lipservicelounge.com. Feel free to start discussions in the round table or to comment on the blogs or the video blogs or any other posts that you see out there. Please like and follow me on my Facebook page, my Lip Service Lounge Facebook page. And as always, with love and much love. Until next time, goodbye.